Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning here. Sorry about the late start. Sorry about the late stream. I apologize. Hopefully, I can get everybody back on, and hopefully, we can talk about football. And welcome to Top FC TV. It's early in the morning in this show for the U.S. folks, but midday in the U.K. So, big up everybody, and welcome to a new stream. We're probably going to be here for 45 minutes or so, kind of just talking about the match against between Newcastle and Chelsea, and also talking about Liverpool and West Ham United that they're going to play later on. I appreciate everybody. Please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, man, let's get to it. Let's get to it. What are the thoughts? Oh man, what are my thoughts? Well, listen, if you're a Newcastle fan, first of all, we're gonna have a match reaction, match review later on around 11 p.m. UK and 5 p.m. in the US. And so we're gonna have an in-depth conversation there. But I'm gonna give you my thoughts. What I think about this match, I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gutted of the performance. Newcastle, for the most part, did the right thing. For the most part, did the right thing, and I think that should be commended. And at the very end, see, I told everybody this: we don't get, Newcastle don't get to play great, and then all of a sudden, let it go at the end and win games. You have to play good all game. You have to play good all game for Newcastle to get games, for Newcastle to win games. And so I do believe that 100%. Um, and yesterday there was a brief moment where Newcastle weren't concentrated. A brief moment where they weren't concentrated, and when that happens, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? When we don't get when Newcastle doesn't stay concentrated, there's only one way to do it. There's only one way that's going to happen, and we're going to lose that game. Unfortunately, and fortunately for Chelsea fans, um, they're able to capitalize. And yes, man, it was um, it was a gutting performance to say the least. If you're looking at it from the Chelsea perspective, I mean, 100%. Um, it's it, it's a good situation. Um, it's a good situation because I think that Chelsea can actually. This is Chelsea's tournament this season. This is Chelsea's tournament this season. Let's be honest. Let's be fair with each other. I think that they're not going to finish top four or top five. They're not going for European football. Um, and I think that this could be a tournament is to where Chelsea take advantage of the situation and go out there and win it. I think they could. I think they very well could win it. Some Chelsea fans are not going to like this. Not necessarily. They're not really fans of Pochettino. If you are not a fan of Pochettino and all of a sudden have a preconception that regardless of what he does, he's not gonna win it, then I get it. You know what I mean? I get that part. But regardless, you have to support them. And I mean, I think that they can easily win it. They have to beat Liverpool, which is a tough club right now, to beat. But Liverpool, knowing that they're going to be focused more than likely on the Premier League and on the UEFA Europa League, you know that they're probably not going to have their best lineup in the Carabao Cup tonight. By the way, they're going to play tonight. And let me see, Carabao Cup. I just want to give you the scores real quick. I kind of know what's happened, but I just want to confirm. Yeah, Middlesbrough goes through, beating Port Vale. Fulham beats Everton in penalties, and of course, Chelsea gets past Newcastle. So listen, we're gonna see what happens with Liverpool and West Ham, but I think that Chelsea, they can beat Middlesbrough and they can beat Fulham. They should be able to beat Fulham, and if Liverpool passes, then you have a situation there where I mean, at the end of the day, you have to go out there and listen. You have to go out there and beat them. But if West Ham gets through, I know some Chelsea fans were commenting on Twitter that West Ham has is kind of like their Achilles tendon, But I don't know. I mean, I feel like Chelsea should be able to beat West Ham. This West Ham team, maybe not. They're about the same in the league. Actually, West Ham is a little bit higher in the league, But I think that when it comes to talent and when it comes to one match in particular, they should be able to get it done. Listen, Chelsea finding a way to beat Newcastle, and Newcastle has had a better performances than Chelsea, and had a better season than Chelsea this year so far. So, and that's just to be fair with you. That's to be honest. I mean, I'm not bantering over here. I'm talking real football, and so I think that this could be Chelsea's opportunity to actually bring it home. You know what I mean? This could be Chelsea's opportunity to win this title and to actually do something about it. I think that if Chelsea were able to win this one, I think that 100% the Pochettino buys a lot more time. Imagine this bring coming onto this team. You know they're not going to play European football. You know they're not going to do any of that, and still getting a title, a Carabao Cup. I mean, come on. You got to give them a break. You got to give them some, you know, time to resolve the issues that are going on the pitch. You got to give them time. You know, ultimately, that's what needs to be done. By the way, we are live on Top FC TV Twitter as well, and on the Top FC TV YouTube channel. Come on and subscribe. We have more shows and we have more videos coming up on the Top FC TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, and of course, follow us on Twitter at Top FC TV. When it comes to the match yesterday on the Chelsea side, I mean, I was really excited to see Enzo behind Nicholas Jackson. I know that people don't really rate him and don't want to see him playing at the number 10, but we can't criticize him either playing in that position because he didn't play much long in that position. He came off probably the fifth or 10th minute between there, and so you can't judge him really playing behind Nicholas Jackson. I will say this though, I will agree with some Chelsea fans that listen, I don't understand why he switches players all the time. I don't understand why he just always, you know, switching players and not really giving them time, not really you know what I mean? Like I don't understand that part. I think that you need to solidify players, but maybe he wants to have Conor Gallagher in the midfield, and so he doesn't want to take Enzo Fernandez out or Moises Caicedo. He wants to have that balance. So I think that that could be a situation there. Ultimately, people were criticizing Conor Gallagher. I don't know why they were criticizing Conor Gallagher yesterday. He was all over the pitch. He was all over. He was just a player that it was relentless, kind of giving me Bruno Guimaraes vibes all over the place, tackling, passing. Now, is he supposed to be your best passer? Probably not. But at the end of the day, man, you can't judge him because he's trying to create some plays. I feel like Chelsea fans at this point, they're a little bit too hard on some of these players and definitely on the manager. I mean, I think you got to give him time and you got to give this team time, you know. And yeah, there are questionable things. You can question a lot of things. I will say this, Shield, man. I don't know what the hell he was doing in the first play. Um, I was on the football terrace yesterday and debating with some Newcastle fans. Me being a Newcastle fan, that oh yeah, but Chelsea scored on a mistake by Newcastle. Well, we scored. Newcastle scored on a mistake by Chelsea. So if we're gonna get to the debate of whether who deserved who what, at the end of the day, both of these guys scored on a mistake. So it can be double sided. You know what I mean? So we scored on the Batter Shield mistake, and I guess you could say that Callum Wilson shot was more difficult than Mudrick. But regardless, man, it was a mistake. So yeah, it was a bad one because it could have cost Chelsea the opportunity to advance. At the end of the day, Kieran Trippier comes on and he wasn't even playing. That's the craziest part. He wasn't even playing. He comes on and he is able to capitalize, and he's able to Mudrik is able to capitalize a mistake, sends it right to the corner, impossible for Martin Dubravka, and they go to tie, and then they go to penalties. Once they went to penalties, trust me, once they went to penalties, I was like, "There's no way Newcastle is winning this one. No way." I think it's going to be Chelsea all day, just because penalties are not Newcastle's thing. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. It's too easy, and things have to be hard for Newcastle. That's just the way life goes, man. Unfortunately, and just to keep talking about the Chelsea side, that Chelsea midfield, I really liked. Listen, they had a lot of the possession. They didn't really had a concrete opportunity to score. That's something that they can better as far as the midfield and as far as the team. But I think that there was a lot of improvements yesterday. I'm a fan of having the ball and doing something with it, but with an inexperienced team, I think this was a good situation for Chelsea because they had the ball most of the time, and eventually you're gonna get sharp. Eventually, there are gonna be games where Chelsea has the ball and they actually have concrete opportunities and they get it done. Nicholas Jackson was iffy. I mean, I don't know if it's worth criticizing. I will say this though: Sterling had a bad game, and you expect him to be one of those players that actually takes care of business, and he wasn't. He wasn't that guy. 100%. He had some opportunities here and there, but just at the end of the day, never could get it done, and that's one of those things, that sucks about it. Um, Moises Caicedo actually was nice. Moises Caicedo was nice on the pitch. Now listen, some people will say that he deserved to be ejected. He deserved to be kicked off. I don't think so. I mean, I think it was a stupid play in the very beginning. They're never gonna eject somebody in the very early stages of the game. Now, should that be the rule? Should that be something that referees do? Listen, I don't even think if you're a Newcastle fan and you're focusing on that, you have a problem. I mean, you have to have a problem. That can't be it. You know what I mean? That can't be one of the things that you focus on. There are other problems of whether Trippier should be starting. Listen, I'm not going to say here that I didn't believe that Trippier should be. I actually was surprised that he wasn't started. I was surprised. I was surprised that he wasn't starting the match. Shoot, I mean, by the looks of it, I was like, damn, maybe he shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Big up, would be farmer man. This is the first time you're on Top FCTV, brother. Early in the morning. I appreciate you coming on. What time is it in? You said you were in. Let me remember. Are you in Texas somewhere? Or no, you're not in Texas. You're in New Mexico. Good morning from New Mexico. Well, right there, I should have read your comment. Sorry. Two games played in 4-1 and in 1-1. Newcastle can hold up their heads up, can hold their heads. 20%, 20% possession in the second half and only gave up one goal with the chance to steal the game with penalties. Hey, cheers, 5:30 a.m. Yeah, man, it's 6:30 a.m. over here. I got 30 minutes before I go to work. So yeah, we got to move swiftly on this one. But appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on, brother. Smash the like button, subscribe, share it with all your football fans, football friends. And welcome it. I always say I always envy Farmer's beard, man. It's enviable. Let me actually try to make this one. See, look at that. Look at that beard, man. That's crazy. Um, but look, I agree with your point. I mean, I agree with your point of view. Regardless, I think that when you give Chelsea all the possession, then you have a problem. You know what I mean? Because eventually you let them look for it. They're going to find one. They're going to find the goal, and I think that that's what happened on this one. Because even if it was a mistake, at the end of the day, um, it was a consequence of the constant, you know, they had the ball the whole time. And I think that Newcastle, we did a good job as far as game management. I think that was a good thing. But at the end of the day, I wish we could have had a little bit of uh, we were just too far back. You know what I mean? Newcastle was just too far back, and I think that it could have something else could have been done. But then again, I mean, you got Lewis Miley. I like the way he played. He wasn't the sharpest guy on the pitch. He's still young and inexperienced. Um, I mean, if you look at this graphic right here on the show, you can see that all of our players, all of Newcastle players, played 6 points, except Kraft 7 points. They gave him Miguel Almiron 7 points. Well, I don't know about that. Miguel Almiron had the worst second half I've ever seen, in because he just didn't do anything. Not because he did anything, because he didn't do nothing. In the second half, there was a play actually right before they scored where he appeared to find the ball, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's Almiron." I thought he was out of the pitch. I think he was gone, and that's the only time he touched the ball, and it was incredible because he was not even in the match. Let's be honest, man. So they gave him 7.3 points. I don't know why. Um, Anthony Gordon had to come out with injury. You got to keep an eye on that. Injuries are not good. And let me tell you this, man. If you're a Newcastle fan, you need to be concerned. You need to be concerned. Um, I get it. I get that we need to. We are not in a dark place like we were before, but regardless, it's not. It's not. This is not ideal. And our owners, they don't like to be second to nothing. They don't like to lose, and it doesn't seem like there are rumors that they are not happy at all. They're not happy at all with what's going on. So you gotta keep that in consideration. Um, and with the on the Chelsea side, you got to admit, man, they they played a decent game to say the least. Uh, to be fair with you, though, in no way, shape, or form did I think that they deserve to win or they deserve to equalize the game. uh, because they didn't create any concrete situations. They didn't create any incredible opportunity that you would say they needed to equalize the game. Not at all. To me, having see there's a deceiving stat, and there's a stat that lies a lot, and it's the possession of the ball, which is crazy. Now, listen, I agree with Farmer. Like that possession could lead to a potential goal, and but it doesn't mean that you're playing better than the other team. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you have to do something with the ball. Now, the stat looks crazy, man. 78% and 22% for Newcastle is it's incredible. But this was the whole match, right? Look, the first half, 76% for them, and the second half, 79%. So this was the whole time. But if you look at the stat, that to me is one of the most important stats right here, and it's let me see. Yeah, I think you can see it. It says total shots. Yeah, total shots. Um, What this number? Oh yeah, this number. Yeah, there we go. Now that looks more like it. So total shots: 15 shots for Chelsea, 4 shots for Newcastle in the whole game. But look at the percentage though. The shots on target that actually matter: 4 for Chelsea and 2 for Newcastle. So our percentage, we shot our shots on target at 50%, and theirs is pretty low. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really, and to be honest, a few of those shots were really from the side. They just shot it, and Dubravka got it. Took it. I think that the most dangerous shot out of these four for Chelsea was the goal, and it was a given goal basically. Um, and so you know what I'm saying. Like you got to take that in consideration, man. You got to take that in consideration, and so it just defines a little bit of what we're talking about. Then again, look, I think that Chelsea needs to be happy, and Chelsea, this is the tournament that they need to go get 100%. And if they get it, it just buys them time. And fans, if you want to be happy or not, that's your choice. But regardless, you got to keep Pochettino. You can't sack him because you know it's fighting for a title, to say the least. Um, and at the end of the day, more than likely, you will get better. You just got to give time. Farmer says some say Eddie Howe ran the players into the ground. We lost Barnes, Willock, and Tonali and others early in the season. Imagine if those three were available this last month. Well, yeah, I get that. I get that. Tonali is his own man, right? I mean, that Tonali is his own fault. He is his own situation, basically. Actually, it comes from Milan, that problem. So that's not on Eddie. Barnes, Willock. I mean, Willock was terrific. He was amazing against Manchester United. But the thing is, a lot of these players don't last. A lot of these players don't last, man, and I wonder why. A lot of these players don't last. They play 1, 2 games and they get hurt. Why is it that's happening? You know, why is it? There has to be an investigation within the club. Um, and for real, I mean it for real. Like, uh, what are we eating? I mean, what are we doing in training? What are we? You know what I'm saying? There's got to be an investigation because I've not seen ever this amount of injuries in a football club. Just blatantly, almost every game somebody comes out with injury. I mean, for real. Last game, last game was Shar and Joe Linton. That was a big deal. Imagine having Joe Linton on the pitch yesterday. I mean, that would have been amazing. Fabian Schär, who was the starting center back. Sven Botman is back, so we're kind of traded right there. But regardless, yesterday Anthony Gordon comes out. Isak is hurt. We don't know what's happening with Isak. He's hurt again. You know what I mean? Like it's listen. You can either say blame it on injuries, and yeah, you can do that. But at the end of the day, man, something is going on. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan. In the beginning, I was like, listen, it is what it is. It's the injuries. We're tired. But then you think about it. We still have 23, 22 players on the pitch. So are we tired? Okay, we're tired. But why are we not making changes? We proved that when we made changes against Manchester United, and most of them were young players, we still got the job done. So if you're so tired and fatigued, the manager needs to make decisions. That's just bottom line. You know what I mean? The manager needs to make some decisions. Uh, and so I'm not, because at the end of the day, what are you going to the pitch saying I'm tired and we'll see what happens? No, you have to try to win the games. You have to try to win the games. And when it comes to injuries, something is going on, man. I've never seen a team that gets players injured every game. Never, never. I watched football for a long time. I've not seen this. This is a pandemic in Newcastle, and you know what I mean. I don't think it's normal. So that I leave it at that. But let's talk a little bit of um, the Liverpool and the Carabao Cup real quick. And Liverpool, because at the end of the day, if you're a Newcastle fan, on the American Magpie later on at 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. USA, 4 p.m. your time, definitely Farmer, 4 p.m. your time, and 11 p.m. UK time, we will be live with a panel of Newcastle fans to talk about the match yesterday. And it's going to be a good one, man. Panel. Hopefully, we debate. Maybe we're all going to be in agreement, or maybe not. You have to take that in perspective. That it might be anything might happen later on. Just both Pope and Burns had injuries from falls, if I recall. I'm not too sure, especially Pope. That tired legs cost those. Maybe the injury crisis is a combination of things. Yeah, no, 100% on that. Burn was a fall, and Pope was a fall as well on his shoulder. Yeah, I mean that could be bad luck. You know what I mean? But those muscle injuries all the time, reoccurrence injuries, like Joe Willock, like Isak, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Listen? Maybe we need to fire our medical staff, bro. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if maybe they're not getting players back and they're just rushing them back. And listen, at the end of the day, you have a job to do. So just keep that in mind, man. It is what it is. um Big up Farmer, man. It says so. More than likely, Chelsea, Liverpool are going to match up, maybe, more than likely. Actually, no, right here, I mean, you see right here. So according to this, it should be Chelsea, Middlesbrough, unless they're going to do a draw, which will be crazy. But it looks like they have a bracket right there. Now, look, let's look at Liverpool, West Ham United later on. They're going to play. If West Ham gets through, it's going to be looking really good for Chelsea, or maybe West Ham, because West Ham, they're higher right now than Chelsea on the table. So that just shows you a little bit of what they're doing in this league. Um, but I think that, well, I mean, right here, the predicted lineup, the possible lineup has most of the starters for Liverpool. I mean, except for the goalkeeper, Joe Gomez is not usually starter, but with the injury of McAllister, Wataru Endo is going to be in the midfield, um, and of course, everybody else should be a starter. So it might not be so much of a alternative squad for Liverpool. Hey, so it might be difficult for West Ham United, but regardless, they're going to be out there and they're going to try to get the job done. And I think that, but you got to take in consideration that again, Liverpool plays Europa League and they also play the let me see right there. Oh, the Premier League, which is the most important thing for them. So I'm actually going to vote here, and I like voting on this website. I think it's going to be Liverpool, and I think most people are going to agree. Oh my gosh, look at that, 73%, which is about 19,720 votes. Vote that Liverpool are going to win. 3,468 votes for West Ham, and 40% that is going to be a draw. Which a draw is stupid because at the end of the day, somebody's got to win, right? So, but it is what it is. You can watch it on ESPN app if you are in the UK, and if you are, I'm sorry, if you're in the United States. If you're in the UK, man, I don't know. I try to. Oh, Great Britain, right here. Sorry about that. If you're in Great Britain, you can watch it on Sky Sports. So yeah, or Now TV UK. But yeah, there we go. Um, so let me see. Let me go back to the US. Well, that's whatever. Farmer says there will be a draw after the pool at the Liverpool Ham game tonight. You think so? You think it's gonna be a draw? Man, I don't know, man. I feel like Liverpool is just too good. They have a lot of talent. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, I guess that could be it. I could see it actually. It depends. It depends on the lineups. I mean, this is a predicted lineup. This is not the one that they're gonna use. But yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be. It very well could be. It could be a draw. But I do see an edge on Liverpool. I think Liverpool has an edge on this one. And but yeah, man, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And look, it is what it is. Everybody else in the Carabao Cup is going to be Middlesbrough going through. I think that they're going to be an easy target for most, unfortunately. Um, just looked it up. Draw for positions. Not a time. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, 100%. I got you. I got you. I understand. I understand. I understand what you meant. Um, and yeah, Middlesbrough is going to be an easy target for most. But I mean, they could bring in the opposite. If they play Fulham, that's their better shot. That's their better shot. Even though Fulham still has better players. Listen, Middlesbrough is a championship team, man. And actually, I don't even think that. Let me just look. Uh, the championship, the EFL championship, where I don't even think they're really high in the table. No, they're 13th in the table. They're mid-table championship, which is crazy. But yeah, Leicester City is looking like they're going to come up with Ipswich and Leeds United. Well, Southampton is fighting for that spot as well. Sunderland seventh with 33. Yeah, man. But wow, look at that. Swansea City, Stoke City, all those teams that were in the Premier League at once. Birmingham, great. Middlesbrough as well. Um, it looks like Rotherham is going to go down. QPR as well might go down. And they are, all those teams were in the Premier League all at once, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that. It's crazy to think that all these teams were in the Premier League at once. There's a lot of them. I wonder. I'm sure all of these haven't been up there at once, but yeah, I mean, I remember Watford being in the Premier League for a while. Norwich City, Blackburn Rovers, man, that's crazy. But yeah, Middlesbrough mid-table right now in the championship, so they're going to be an easier target even for Fulham. There should be at least. So it is what it is, man. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Smash the like button, of course. Let's talk. Let's look at some news for the Premier League real quick, and so we can wrap up this stream because I do have to go to work. And by the way, later on the American Magpie, don't forget there's going to be a good show panel of Newcastle fans debating on today's opportunities, um, on what we got going forward, and of course, talking about the game yesterday. That's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a big deal, man. Which, by the way, what are your thoughts when it comes to people that think that it is what it is, and we should be happy about yesterday's performance? You know what I mean? What should I have a problem with that. I have a problem with fans that think that nothing should be done, that we're cool, that it is what it is. And I do have I have a problem with that, man. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I certainly don't get it. I don't get why fans can just be. It's cool for them. This situation that we're on, eliminated from the Champions League, eliminated from the Carabao Cup. That was our tournament. The Carabao Cup was our tournament. That was it. You know what I'm saying? And some fans still talking about the Caicedo play, avoiding a red card or whatever. Like, man, It is what it is. We made mistake to get eliminated. So why are we, you know what I mean, not taking accountability? That's the part that sucks. You know what I mean? That's the part that sucks. Why are we not taking accountability? Um, and so let me know, man. Let me know. I think we're gonna have a great debate later on. We're gonna really talk about yesterday's match, and we're gonna have some fun. Because listen, this was a gutting performance for Newcastle. They were doing just enough to get through, and unfortunately, they let it go at the end. Yeah, it's not good. By the way, Nottingham Forest announcing that Steve Cooper's announcing who Steve Cooper's replacement will be, and that is Nuno Espirito Santo. Um, and that's a funny name. If you know Spanish, Espirito Santo is like a one phrase thing for religious purposes, and his name is Nuno Espirito Santos. Um, so yeah, it looks like he will be replacing Steve Cooper. A lot of people think that was a mistake, but yeah, it is what it is, man. If you don't get the results done, that's what's going to happen. By the way, Calvin Phillips looking like he wants to choose Juventus over Newcastle United. Keep that in mind. Keep that into perspective. Hey, would you bring Jadon Sancho to Newcastle? That would be fun. I think. I don't know. Oh, what in the hell did my screen just disappear? Come on, let me see it real quick. There we go. Mukala Mudrik throws his support behind strong Kieran Trippier after his errors. Helped Chelsea. Look, let's look at what Mudrik did. Um, so Mudrik showed this right here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me remove the comment, but it says on the bottom. I'll read it for you. Kieran, just want to say to you, stay strong. Sometimes this shit happens, but I think you are strong. What the heck? What? I think you're a strong footballer no matter what. Um, yeah, you know, people are gonna not take that. Gonna take that lightly. Um, People are gonna have fun with that. But yeah, that's a good show of support. You know what I'm saying? That's a good show of support. But hey, listen, man, he made the mistakes. He's got to face the consequences, at the end of the day. Now, when it comes to being so disrespectful, like to his family, throwing threats, that's nonsense. That's stupidity. And it should be found, these idiots should be found and guilty, and be kicked off matches, etc. But when it comes to criticism, you got to take in the criticism, man. It is what it is. Farmer says there were more errors that could have led to goals, and Chelsea couldn't finish. So the focus on Trippier doesn't tell the whole story. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, 100%. Um, One simple error that I think that nobody talks about is when Almiron had that opportunity right before that error, and he's going towards the corner, and he shoots it, and it goes to the goalkeeper. Easy shot for the goalkeeper, but he's just running again with somebody next to him, and he knows he's not going to score, but he just shoots it to get the ball in. If you are a smart player, if you are somebody with common sense, and you are thinking the game, you know that you're not going to score, and so the easiest thing for you to do is go to the corner, take the ball to the corner, and waste time. I'm not going to say that they wouldn't tie the game, but if he would have went to the corner, none of that would have happened. You know what I mean? And more maybe he could have gotten a corner kick. Maybe one of those plays where you go to the corner, you hold the ball against the defender, and maybe it would have been just a goal kick. Maybe it would have been a throw in. Regardless, you go out there and waste time. You got the score already, and instead he keeps going. He knows he's not going to score, but he goes and shoots at Petrovic, and an easy shot for Petrovic, who grabs it and immediately starts the counter attack. Um, Sort of counter attack, but regardless, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that that's a mistake that you need to know in your head of what you're doing. And yeah, unfortunately, he was not able to think the game at that moment. But regardless, yeah, that's what's happening. By the way, Shay Given says Newcastle should consider signing David De Gea with Nick Pope out injured, as the former Magpies goalkeepers insist that any Premier League club would be wise to move for the out of contract Spaniard. I agree with that. I'm not necessarily thinking that Dubravka is bad. He's not bad to me, but I think that it wouldn't be a bad deal to get the hair in 100%. Why not? Um, some people say that Chelsea Caicedo was lucky to escape the sending off during the Carabao Cup. I'm not gonna sit here and waste time on that, man. Ultimately, it didn't happen, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's not what we lost the game. And this asshole right here, the dude that jumped on the pitch, he needs to not see Stamford Bridge in the long, long time. You can't do that. Can't come on the pitch and shove and push a rival's or the opposition's player. You can't do that. You know what I mean? He was an idiot. He should be kicked off um, for a long, long time. Should be banned. I don't believe really in lifetime bans because he'll be 70 years old and might want to come on the game, but he needs to have some time off for sure. Uh, Listen, I think this we've covered everything, pretty much that we need to talk about today. It was kind of a late stream. I wish I would have started earlier, but I was tired as hell and I had to wake up and get changed for me to go to work. So big up to everybody. We will have live shows here on Top of TV later on in the afternoons as well. But tonight, more than likely not tonight. But regardless, stay tuned. And of course, we will be live on the American Magpie with a panel. The Hale still want big wages. I don't know, 100%. I think that he wants to play football right now, so he probably be able to negotiate some things. But regardless, man, I appreciate you, Farmer, for coming on and staying on the stream, brother. We will be live on the American Magpie with uh, the match reaction of tonight's game, of yesterday's game, rather. We were going to have a panel, more than likely three people, try to get four people to come on and talk Newcastle. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see what everybody has to say about this match in particular. Again, big up the Magpies, always the lads. And if you love football, subscribe, hit the smash button, smash the like button. We will see you on the next one. Big up, Farmer, man. I appreciate you for coming on, brother. Thank you so much. We'll see you later on tonight.